Hi everyone, it's time to do VLOGMAS Day 19, and it's going pretty good, trying to think of things to say, wondering what to talk about today, and like to talk about, well, a little bit about uh, growing up and when I grew up. Until I was 12 years old, my parents lived on a farm, so I grew up with the farm life and miss it in some ways. So I guess that's why I like to watch homesteading videos with all the animals and stuff. My parents they had cows and they had pigs and chickens on the farm. And when they sold the farm way back in 1978, I I had a cow and I got the money from that cow and it was invested, and I don't have that. Fortunately, I spent that money, so I don't have it anymore now. But way back then, and we grew up in the country, and the nearest city was, or the nearest village would be about. The nearest village was the place that my parents retired to, Lawnsboro, and it was only 250 people, and that would be about um, 10, 10 minutes from where they grew up. And the other place was Clinton, Ontario, that was about 15 minutes from where they grew up. So we grew in a I really grew up in the country, and then beside Lawnsboro there was a place called Blythe, which is home to the Blythe Festival in the summer, where I did volunteer work after I did volunteer work at the theater. I was an usher and greeter there. So growing up at the farm was interesting with all the farm animals and going out. I remember going out and helping my dad when they get rid of the chickens. They used to go out and clean some of the barns and, you know, clean the cows. And I always liked going out to the barn, and always had kittens growing up and dogs. And I know when I know my mom, she never liked cats in the house, and there was one time that she was away at a meeting and we let a couple of cats in the house just for fun, and she never liked the dogs into the house. And there was one time that there was a bad thunderstorm, and there was a thunderstorm, and the dog wanted in the house, and we didn't let the dog in the house, and it ran away, and my brother chased after it. He was still at home, and he chased after it, and he got a concussion. So weren't too happy about that. And of course, whenever I do a video, there wants to be a star in it. So there's B, of course. There's our star. She's glad today because I'm home. Yesterday I was out a little bit, or last night I was out a little bit yesterday. So B's glad because I've been around home today. And yeah, so I think that's why I've come to love animals and love pets. And then once um, once my parents retired, once they moved to Lawnsboro, little village called Lawnsboro, I finished my school. And then after that I did some volunteering at an adult day program where there was people in wheelchairs and stuff. So I think that's where I got my caring that I care about now. And You know, it used to be, I've always been caring like that. My mom died unfortunately in 94, and my dad died in 2007, so hasn't been that long since he died, but yeah. And growing up on uh you know growing up, was interesting way back then on the farm. So I'll continue this on a little bit someday, but just a little bit about me growing up. Take care, everyone.